Last week, we explored a psychological nightmare. A monster that doesn't break down your door, but enters with its own key. The mimic, the creature that steals faces, memories, and lives, hunting its victims from within their circle of trust. Today, we answer the hardest question. What do you do when you suspect someone close to you has been replaced? How do you survive? This is your guide to exposing and defeating a human mimic. Step 1: Identification. Hunting for mistakes. Here are some tests that you can make to expose them. 1. The emotional memory test. The mimic can copy facts, but it cannot copy the true emotion of a memory. Don't ask, do you remember when we went to the beach in 2020? Instead, ask, do you remember how you felt when we saw that sunrise on the beach? The mimic will give a logical, cold answer. It was beautiful. I felt good. It will lack the personal, emotional detail that only the real person would have. Yeah, and I laughed because you stepped on a seashell and almost fell in the water. 2. The out of character challenge. Do something completely unexpected. And a bad joke you know the real person would hate. Play a song they despise. A real person will react instantly and authentically. Turn that garbage off. The mimic might have a split second delay as it process the correct reaction, or it might overreact, playing a part. 3. Finding the tell. Many legends about shapeshifters mention a constant flaw in their disguise, a detail that their biology cannot replicate perfectly. Watch their reflection in a mirror or a window. That might be a slight distortion, a millisecond delay in their movements. Said they cannot perfectly replicate extremely complex and unique human structures, like fingerprints or the exact pattern of the iris. Silver, a classic test. Touching it with a pure silver object might not leave a visible burn, but it could cause an instinctual discomfort, a flinch, a sudden pulling away of the hand. It's a dangerous test, but it can be revealing. Step 2: The confrontation. Do not confront it alone. This is the most important piece of advice. A mimic that is isolated with its accuser will drop the act and attack. Your mission is to convince others before you act. Gather your proof. Write down the memory failures. Film the strange reactions. You need allies. You can force a logic failure. A confrontation doesn't have to be physical at first. It has to be psychological. Present it with undeniable proof of its fraud. Show a photo of itself with a real person side by side. If you manage to get a recent one of the original, call the real person if they are still alive and put them on speaker. This logical paradox can overload the mimic's mind, forcing the mask to crack. When that happens, be ready. The transformation is violent and explosive. The familiar face will melt or tear apart, revealing its true monstrous form. Step 3. Surviving the fight. Once it's exposed, the mimic is vulnerable. It no longer has the psychological advantage. Like its primitive cousin, the mimic is a biological creature. Fire is an extremely effective weapon against it. It's no longer protected by the illusion of a human form. Any weapon capable of causing severe psychical trauma will work. Aim for the core. It's believed that within its amorphous mass there is a central nucleus, a sort of brain. That is where you must aim. The fight is horrifying because even in its monstrous form, it might still have fragments of the voice or face of the person you loved. You have to be strong. To defeat a human mimic is a victory with a bitter taste. Even if you survive, you are left with the trauma. You are left with the agonizing question: what happened to the real person? And, worst of all, you are left with a shadow of distrust that may never go away. We hope you'll never need this guide, but if you ever feel that cold, unexplainable feelings, trust your instincts. What do you think is the most terrifying aspect of this creature? Let us know in the comments and share this video. You might just save someone in your circle of friends. Next week, we explore another entity that steals our faces, but for a much more sinister and personal reason. If the mimic replaces you to hunt others, the doppelganger has only one target: you.